Here we go. Welcome, welcome, welcome to Old Heads Talking Basketball with my man Michael Solomon. Michael, tonight the Raptors in the first of a not back to back of a first of a home and away as it used to be called, with the Philadelphia 76ers, and we won 110-103. It was perilous in the first two quarters. Embiid and Simmons, their two top players, were murdering us like criminals. They were getting everything, and some of their secondary players were doing their thing. The Raptors, as usual, gave up those threes, and they were hitting them. They had Raptors. They had two big comebacks, 20-2 at one point, 12-2 to claw this out. The third quarters, they were not horrendous, but they were going down and had me looking for blood pressure pills, and I don't even have blood pressure. But then in the fourth, their defense came on and the shots were going. My man, the Montreal brother, Chris Boucher,
Hey.
5 3-pointers, man.
Back to back to back.
He played his ass off. Baines even played. The whole team, the coach, the coaching in this. I think the coach won this game.
Well, they're playing as a team. The Raptors are using their lack of size as their strength. I mean, they're able to double down on Embiid and still get back out to the guys on the 3-point line. You know, once we prevented him from making that baseline turn, the game was possible.
What was he doing wrong in the beginning, though? Because for those two quarters, it seemed as if we were saying that Embiid had his way. He was going in and out. Simmons had his way, in and out. I must say, I don't usually call on the refs unless it's Tony Brothers and Mark Davis, those two brothers that ain't real brothers, because they just like kill the Raptors every time I hear Tony Brothers. You know what I mean? But the refs, at one point, Simmons had more free throws than the entire Raptors.
Yeah.
It ended up where he and Embiid had more free throws than the whole Raptors combined.
But that's the MO. They shoot more free throws than anybody else, right? Because of that size, they get the line. You know, you got to stop from getting through that key, right? So they're going to get the fouls, and they're going to get the line. But Raptors played a damn good game tonight, man. Mm-hmm. Our defense is what won this game for us.
Absolutely.
Every time we made a run, the defense and the coach trusting players, man. You see, Davis
came in, gave a boost,
came in, got good spot duty. He played got a lot of time. How many minutes did he play tonight? He played the minutes that Powell would have played. Powell got a chance to rest him. So you see the versatility of our team. You see the strength of it. Raptors are looking good.
And the coach recognizing that and really playing to his strength, actually. This is a guy who coached in all kinds of places. I didn't even know they had basketball teams. So he's always had to deal with, like, you know, hey, the three players are not here tonight, and just to mismatch it together. And he was getting real conservative, but I'm so glad he's gotten back to his old ways, that innovative Nick Nurse that we know, that can get it done in a timeout, that can make a play work, that can use his rotation, bring his men in when he need them for a spark. He was on all this was a quintessential Raptors game, Michael. It was sublime. I'm still basking in the effervescence of this win, Michael. It's got me waxing poetic like an old CD, a 33.5 LP, Michael. What did the Raptors do in that third? What key you think after the third there? Because the run kind of started in the third in a way. They got closer and closer and closer, like an R&B love song, you know, a slow tune in the basement groove back in the day to some Al Green. What did they do in the third, late third and the fourth to make this really happen?
Defense. They kept the other team from scoring. They kept Philadelphia from scoring.
3 minutes
they made
plus.
Lots of steals. You know, they were playing a hell of a game, man. The defense won it for us all the time. That's how we came back into this game.
Because there was a spot.
Guys are often running. They're running those high pick and rolls. You know, and we feed off of that. Those high pick and rolls is dinner. You know, Boucher got his three threes in a row from there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, run that screen, step back.
It was a joy to watch.
We're so quick. You see, this is what you saw today. At first, their length was bothering us. When the first start of the game, their
Clearly.
length was bothering us. We couldn't get easy shots off. We couldn't get into the lane. And after a while, they solved that. They solved that by playing defense and getting some good runouts, right? So where the Philadelphia defense doesn't have time to settle.
And we solved, in some ways, we solved the Embiid problem too. But before you get to that, Mike, I certainly wanted to ask you about how we neutralized Embiid and Simmons in the fourth. But there was a stretch there in the fourth where nearly 5 minutes that they didn't score a field goal, Philadelphia, and we defended them into like 8 to 10 misses. So it was almost a bit of a clinic in a way. And you started to see that swagger that Norm and Fred like to talk about, that swagger. And look, OG was smiling.
OG, man, OG is playing a great game. That side, he might be the strongest dude in the NBA right now.
Exactly.
Just joking. There's other guys stronger, but he is one of the strongest guys on the floor for sure. And he make those moves to the basket. I saw him one time on Danny Green. Right, hit him. Then he took the first hit. Then he just kept right on through him for throw it on the other end. You know, that's size and power. And we're playing defense like nobody else can play defense. It seemed like tonight the guys were everybody was comfortable. Everybody knew what they had to do, and they were feeding off each other.
Came in and did it. Shit, even Baines was kicking the storm there for a moment. I thought Baines did an excellent job.
Down. He got some throw down, running down the lane. I see Lowry gave him a nice pass on the right.
You mean Fred? Lowry wasn't playing, Fred?
No, Fred VanVleet, sorry. VanVleet threw him that nice pass from the top of the key, and he caught it and just a nice little hook shot. You know, he can score. You see, when he got it there, Embiid's on his left shoulder, right? So he has all that distance. There's no way he can block the shot, so he could score easily. You know, that was good.
Wow. Speaking of that, let's talk about the center thing, right? Because, you know, of course, it said that DeMarcus Cousins is parting ways mutually with the Rockets. It's rumored that the Lakers are really enamored of him. And I know, for instance, everybody who comes available or there's any rumor, Raptors fans go crazy. We need a center. Even me saying, let's get Dwight Howard. You know what I mean? Let's get JaVale McGee. So I know that it's desperate, but tonight, Boucher was on the floor at times with Baines, and at one time Boucher had that badass block from the back, and that kind of stunned Embiid. He was trying to be cool, but I know, brother, you were stunned. So what about that combination of Boucher and Baines, and also if you throw Bembry into the mix and Pascal, where you can kind of go big in a secondary unit, you know what I mean? But what about what did it show you about our need for a center, the burning need, some will say, for a center, and the way Night Nurse Nick, our coach, used our two centers tonight?
Well, whenever they got the ball down low, whenever Embiid made that drive into the post, you had the big men converging on him. And you can't teach length. You know, Boucher is length. Once he puts his hand up, he can bother anybody. You know, regardless of how big and strong you are, once that ball leaves your hand, it's fair game.
I'm telling you.
Boucher's length troubles a lot of people. And see, look how well he got on those 3-point shots. How many shots did he block today? That's something.
Five at least from my count. 6 maybe.
He makes a huge difference in the game, man. Just his length alone. Forget about that. Slim frame is not a detriment to his game at all.
And when he gives us tonight a mix of hot and cold in terms of icing and gravy, when he does like tonight, as he did that, tied his all-time record for threes, 5 in a game, man, I'm telling you, I go bilious. I don't know what you call that dish. It's like a birthday and Thanksgiving at the same time. Give me some gravy and a little whopper icing on that, which is what he did with that extra, those points, because he scored what, 14, 15 points in the fourth?
Yeah,
I'm
most of
telling you,
this, he only scored 17 for the game, but yeah, a lot of it came in the fourth quarter.
that dude
5
is
rebounds, 1 assist.
truly amazing. Truly amazing. Oh gosh. Siakam, Pascal. Simmons seemed to have given him some trouble in the beginning. Not so much trouble because everybody started out slow. Norm started out real slow. Pascal started out real slow. Fred, Fred was one of the persons giving you some spark. But some of our key guys, even OG started out slow. And that's something we're gonna have to be concerned about because you don't want to kick with some of them big teams, man, to get too down.
Well, you know what? We had to, it was a real, like a heavyweight fight, you know. At first, they don't start throwing blows early, they're going to feel each other out.
Unless you're Mike Tyson.
The Raptors had to feel them out because they had that size and the length. But once we solved that problem, it was off to the races. We made some comebacks, man. We showed their true grit.
To stay with your boxing metaphor, guy, the only reason I disagree with you with that metaphor is that, if you're fighting Mike Tyson, you better be ready for them blows coming soon. Mike ain't taking no time to warm up. And that's my fear with big teams like the Lakers, like the Clippers, like the Jazz, like even the Suns coming up in the West, and those kind of teams, especially with big centers and with length and 3-pointers and so on. We can't play this slow moving game in the first and second, man.
No. Well, that's we're playing with speed. We're playing with pace, right? I mean, we're not afraid of anybody in the league.
No.
Because we know what we can we know we can play defense, right? We know we have the grit and we trust in each other. We can come back in the game. So from that perspective, Toronto's in a real good place, right?
I think so. Well, now the Raptors are fifth, fifth in the East. Yeah. We just eclipsed Boston. So it's Philadelphia at 20-11, Brooklyn at 19-12, Milwaukee at 17-13, and they've been dropping like an anchor. Indiana at 15-14, and we're right behind Indiana at 16-15, and below us is Boston at 15-15, New York, and then Charlotte. My concern is just the big three at the top: Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. And since we've spanked Milwaukee, they're still dreaming about us. In fact, I think
we have the best record in over the last 10 games, I believe, right? 7 of 10.
I'll take it.
I think that's what the stat is. I'm not looking at it anywhere, but that's what I heard. That's damn good. So Toronto's a team that's getting their groove right now. Other teams are fighting to get their groove. So we're in a good place, man. Those guys, you can see the confidence. You know, when you have the subs, you know, Davis comes in. No difference. He's playing really hard. He's playing tough, great defense, and he's hitting his trees. He's getting to the hoop. He's settled down. He's gotten a chance to get into his groove now. He's really good going to the glass for us.
Some friends have said to me from the beginning, Michael, that this team is a contender. I said, you know what? If I coulda, woulda, shoulda, I don't know, baby.
Well, they are a contender, but we still need that to solve that problem. The fact that we can win with what we have tells you a lot about the potential that we have, right? And also, if they make the right changes, yeah.
Also, Michael, to fast forward to the elephant in the room, or in this case, the elephant on the bench, Kyle Lowry. We've brought out some impressive wins, and the stats now, I think, are 17 in a row when Lowry doesn't play. And these last few games have shown us that we can go up with the top teams, at least some of the top teams, without Kyle. Fred has done a steady job. I like that they pulled up Malachi Flynn from the G League to bring him in there, because I think that guy is a clone between Fred and Kyle. Same kind of height, same kind of play, got a little bit of grit to him. Give him a little while, he may be able to start taking charges like Lowry. And we've got
Lowry has a very strong base.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not easy to.
And a big ass bump seat.
That's part of the base, baby. You know?
Oh, so does this present some consideration for the brain thrust, Messiah, you Ujiri, and the brain thrust of the Raptors that, okay, do you sit Kyle down now and say, you know, what do you want to do, bro? Is it time, or do we go with him through the season and just wait on that 30 million plus off the books, or we sign him to a 2-year after that so he can retire here? What does it show you about the readiness of the team for post Lowry?
Well, it shows that we have a good guard rotation. Our guard rotation is damn good. Even with a superstar like Lowry sitting out, we are still functioning well. But with a guy like being out, yes, we are functioning well. But trust me, come push and shove, we're gonna need him. That's
No,
where that experience comes in, right?
we're absolutely a better team with him on the court than not. And I was really looking forward to him playing tonight because I remember a move that Simmons pulled on him a year or so ago. They got into a little dust up, you know what I mean? And Lowry wasn't backing down. You know that brother does not back down. You're playing I think they were playing in Philly too, and he's from North Philly. So I was really looking forward to seeing how those two would interact tonight, as it were. Philadelphia played nice. Their people played, but we wore them down. We defended them, discombobulated them. And tell me something, man. Fred is turning out to be, anytime we play any 7-footers, I expect him to wrestle the ball out of them and embarrass them. He embarrassed MB tonight, didn't he? Pulled one out like he did on Giannis the other day.
Listen, he's famous for that now. Don't bring the ball down anywhere where Fred's hands could get to it. He is deflected. It's amazing, man. He doesn't have that great wingspan, but you know what? He gets to the ball. And when his hands get on the ball, it's strong as hell.
Yeah, a short dude like that, brother, man. Sorry.
He must be benching some serious weight, you know.
Oh, absolutely. That is
that was strength. So amazing, man.
Wow. So, Michael, as a long-standing Raptors fan, right? Because I was saying that those times when we rely on so many fringe players, you know what I mean? Bring in Joey, Graham, you just fill in the blanks with names that we say, Jamario Moon, you know, all kind of cats. I'm like, oh, please.
Jamario Moon, you're really stepping back there, boy.
Please help us. And then the steadiness that Kawhi Leonard brought when we have him for that championship year, right? And you can see it rubbing off on that. Sometimes you win the championship and you might slide into obscurity. You know, it's basically 6-7 teams have been dominating the win column in terms of championship the last decade or two, right? What does the Raptors have to do, Michael, to get close back to? I think we can contend in the East. I have to think some more about the West this year, fully contending. But what do we have to do structurally? It looks like we're on the way there. So tinkering, we know we need a center, but what else do we have to do you think, to do? And have you been watching, hearing anything about the cats down in the G League?
No, I haven't had time to deal with that. But from what I'm seeing with Toronto, how they're playing, we don't have anything to do, man. We just need to keep playing these guys the way we're playing them. It seems like he's really bought into giving people rest, making sure they get enough rest. As Powell not playing 20 minutes tonight shows me, because the other guys came on, they played well. Yes. In the past, it would be that Larry might have had to play because we didn't have guards of a good enough caliber. Say Lowry at 60% is better than the guards on the floor.
So 9 people today played. So he went 9 deep
right now. So the bench is still comfortably resting.
The bench, I think 35-17. Somewhere there, we outscored them bench-wise. So let's talk about the coach, if you will, for a moment, Mike. I mean, I think he did it tonight, and for me, it was going to be these 2 games with Philadelphia was going to be a question of how how do you coach this game to win? How do you win this game as a coach? And I thought he did it tonight brilliantly in terms of way the rotations, the plays, substitutions, timeouts, you name it. It's just like tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, he stayed real cool. You know, even when they had their big runs, he just stayed cool because he knew what his players can do, right? And you didn't see any stress on his face today. You didn't see any stress. He was just a cool cucumber man, doing what he has to do to get back in the game, and doing what he had to do to take the lead. Like you see, when Baines first came to the Raptors, the one thing he spoke about that's taking time to get up to speed with is their defensive sets, right? That's where they hang their hat on, the defense. So
he's coming around. I think he's coming around.
They have their game strategy, and then that's where they're gonna go down with that game strategy. They're gonna go down fighting with that very same strategy. It's not gonna change.
Not to defend Baines so much, but here the dude hasn't played for like what a year. Just had a baby when he got the contract with the Raptors. Then found out, you know, you got to move, you got to learn all these sets as everybody does. You know, don't cry for me, Argentina, because everybody does it. And then it's got a 2-year, a young baby, and then got to relocate to Tampa.
But you know what? He's playing with the minutes he's getting now. He's coming on and doing his thing in that time, right? Those are good minutes for him. I mean, like I say, he is a good backup center, but as opposed to a guy to get you what you need. No, but he came in and did his job, man. He came in and played hard.
So we're starting with our center. We're going small, as it were, in the beginning, and then we use it.
Then we bring him into, you know.
Coach Nurse is making lemonade, Michael, and it's a tremendous win tonight. 108.99. Oh no, 108.99. No, 110. What's the score?
We had 110. 110 to
110, 103. 110, 103. 110, 103, and a tremendous win by the Raptors tonight, Michael.
We're heading that fourth quarter. That was a hell of a fourth quarter.
Defense. What do you think this does now? Of course, it boosts the confidence because Embiid scored 50 the other night, and after that said that he is unguardable, which we know now not to be true. However, he's a threat, and Simmons is a threat, and they kind of dominated us in the first 2 quarters of this game. What do you portend for the next game, the second game? We're going to meet them just now again.
Well, you know, he is unguardable one-on-one, but you don't guard a man like that with just one player, right? You guard him with two. You do some of the same things we did today. They're going to have to solve our riddle now, right? They're going to have to solve our riddle, and it'll be interesting how they use Embiid. They might use Simmons more low post game with Simmons, right? But then our advantage there is that we have OG. OG can body him down there, right?
Sweet.
Because of our speed, we can double Embiid. Because you saw when they were getting back on that after the pass, they were doing so smart. The guy who was at the top didn't move. Another guy from lower down went out to the far wing to guard that guy. You know, they were their movement, their defensive switching was really well done.
And you know what they say? Adversity shows you what grit you got. Remember the concerns going in those 2 games that we beat Milwaukee. The concern was a big man, Giannis. You know what I mean? A gazelle. How we were going to take care of him. And we gave that Greek freak a wall that he couldn't go through, like in the old Iliad. You know what I mean? A wall he couldn't come through in a Trojan horse, one he couldn't get over. And we showed that. And tonight, I believe we showed some more like that with Embiid to some degree. And we're moving from strength to strength. So by the time we finish with this next game with Philadelphia, I believe we might be ready for any big man out there or big man combo. What do you think? I'm being too overconfident.
Look, you can have some confidence, but I mean, once the game is about speed, once they're playing, if they have a big man that's running out to the 3-point line to shoot, that's no advantage for them. We still have the advantage on speed. Or advantage is speed. If there's a big man playing, if their big man are playing out wide, then it might as well not have a big man. If the big man isn't a shot blocker, they might as well not have a big man. There's only a few big men in the league that really causes problems for us. Embiid being one of them, but look how we played him tonight. Yeah.
So, Michael, at the top of the food chain in the East is Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee. We've beaten these three teams.
You have to put Toronto in that story now.
Well, I mean the big three, the top three so far. But I'm saying that yeah, we've beaten those three teams, the top three teams in the East.
Exactly.
So we're at fifth. Milwaukee's is at 3, and the Nets, and then Philadelphia at the top. So wow, it's really tantalizing, Michael, because I mean, if the Raptors can put through thread the needle with like 3-4 in a row, 3-4 more in a row, we'd be looking extremely healthy. Be like a top bill of health from the annual checkup with the basketball doctors.
Well, I think we're going to surprise a lot of people. I am really surprised now how well they've come together so fast. You know, I didn't expect them to what they're doing now, right? So we're in the driver's seat in the NBA right now. We're in the driver's seat.
Mm-hmm.
Those announcers be talking about this all the time.
Excellent.
Just like they always do. They count us down, then they say, wait, the Raptors are making noise here. They're doing things they didn't believe they can do. You know, I think they've already given the 6-man award away, a lot of the announcers.
Oh.
But they haven't been looking at Boucher.
Nope.
That's
and
the thing too.
Luckily, there's still time, Michael. Boucher might end up being either most improved or best 6th man so far. Michael, this is a tremendous night. A comeback from behind, win for the Raptors, 110-103. They beat the first of a 2-game series with the East leading Philadelphia 76ers, who are number 1, followed by Brooklyn Nets, and then by Milwaukee, and Raptors are number 5. It's a tremendous win, Michael. Wow. Thanks for being here, man. Old head. This has been the Eglinton West Papa podcast show. Old heads talking basketball with my man Michael Solomon. Michael, say goodbye to the folks and let's get this one out of here.
Hey man, see you in the next 2 days.
Right on. Peace.